Welcome to Crusade with Me, the podcast for those who are walking awake, who carry fire in their bones and peace in their hands. I'm your host, Dave, and today we're going to slow, deep breath together. This episode is titled Attention, Empathy, and the Weight of Being Awake. Because sometimes it feels like the more awake you are, the heavier it gets. The more you notice, the more you feel, and the harder it becomes to stay grounded, kind, and clear. So today, let's talk about what it means to pay attention in a time where everything around us seems to be demanding that we don't. Well, hello, my queen. How are you?
I am surviving and thriving.
Awesome. We had a heck of a week. Right? We had a heck of a week.
We lived in two different worlds, two different states.
Yeah.
And we are reunited, and it feels so good.
Okay, peaches and herb.
Peaches and cream. No,
peaches and herb.
Nah,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound right.
Google that. Google it right now. Look on your phone. I'll bet reunited and it feels so good.
Okay, I feel like I need a Jeopardy. Do.
I'm pretty dang sure I'm right. Back in the heyday when the girls first started
you're
wearing...
right. Peaches and herb.
I told you.
Peaches and cream. That sounds so much better.
That's sweet corn. Sweet corn is peaches and cream.
Oh my. It's been a week, and we're getting a late start because of that, I think, because we needed time to have conversations and coffee this morning. And
so this episode is you, right? This you dreamed this up. What we're going to talk about today. I mean,
well,
it's
I
a
didn't
little
dream
bit
it
of a
up. We were
combination.
conversing about this because when I have, I'm an empath. I mean, I didn't know that was the word, but I've felt this way my whole life. And things bother me. I take them to heart. And so we were talking about this morning, and I've been without you for 5 days. You left at like 5:30 Monday morning, and you got home after 5:30 last night. So
after 6 last night, yeah.
And we talked during the week, but FaceTiming and it's hard.
I honestly,
I can't hear. You can't hear.
It was a tough week.
And I love that you said that you were in a bad mood this week.
I really was.
We were separated.
I really was.
I don't mean to celebrate
people
that,
walked away from me a lot with furrowed brows this week. And I didn't notice that till Friday.
You really are aloof sometimes.
Well, and you know what I don't do well in. And that is
Context
one of
clues?
the main reasons I was doing what I was doing this week was one kind of policing. I mean, the backstory is this. We had the company I work for, and we had bought a mill, a roll forming mill from this company, but this company was from Italy. Mm-hmm. And it's not been right since we bought it. Right? We're
right. Well, this is your second mill from them.
This is our second mill from them, and the first one, I don't always, this podcast, I don't even know what to say about the podcast, but this podcast is a little bit of a release for me. But I probably talk better on this podcast, quite candidly, than I do in moments. You know what I'm saying? And not that my words are more pursed, but I feel, look.
You think about them more.
I'm more comfortable sitting here, right?
Right.
Not that I'm, I don't even know. I don't even know. It's just that I don't talk politically correct as I think I probably should sometimes, or what I think my boss might want me to talk.
He is a filter for you, but
and he is. I just shared a story with you this morning about how do you want me to handle this, because I'm going to depend on you, because
right.
I don't want to get fired by saying the wrong thing.
Right. Well, and we've kind of broached this a little bit just a couple of weeks ago when you were talking about the podcast called Walking Down Memory Lane. You are what I have termed the old guard, right? You were of that generation in a factory setting of that old guard. You talked a certain way.
Right.
That now will get you fired.
Bingo. Live and learn. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
And so obviously it was a good week. It was a long week. And when you're staying in a hotel by yourself, but I was obviously in my hotel room by myself, but this week had several things happening. One is we had 2 technicians from Italy in that I was kind of policing. And so there's this, and they both speak some degree of English, but not a lot.
With heavy
heavy accents.
Right.
And, my hearing is not stellar.
Right. I have the hearing test to prove it.
We have multiple hearing tests to prove it.
Right.
And our relationship with this OEM has been very contentious.
Yes.
And there's a lot of money riding on this that we've not paid our final bill on this multi-million-dollar thing we bought. And this is their final, effort to make us happy.
Yeah.
For like, and I say that's probably really a poor terminology, because I'm not convinced that they give 2 shits whether we're happy or not. They just want to be able to point and say, we did this, pay us. So, and I'm like, okay, but contractually, according to the agreement, this isn't doing what you said it was going to do.
Right.
So there's that.
Promises made, promises kept.
Right. And that's, So I was there to one. They also have this, and because I've experienced this is not their first time, right? And we've had them, and it's probably, I think, the first time since I've been at this new location that they've had them there, that I was there. But I've had them at the other plant.
And when they were there, let me interject. When they were at the other plant, they seemed to keep to the European schedule of siestas in the afternoon, right?
Well, they definitely take hour-long lunches.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, so I think you were
and
there
they would
to help
arrive at 8 or 9 in the morning, take hour-long lunches, and then wonder why our crews weren't there at 5 o'clock in the evening.
Right.
We're not changing their schedule. You get on our schedule.
So when you say you were there to police them, it was it was because of past experiences. They don't really work the same 8-hour days, 10-hour days, 12-hour days that we do here.
Correct. Well, they do, because they have actually worked about 7 days in a row, 12-hour days. They have. They get to the plant at 5 in the morning, which is when the crews arrive, and they leave at 5 in the afternoon, for the most part. So we were winding down this week, and I thought, I tried to take what we've talked about on this podcast, and so just connect with them, personally on And so I had offered, I says, would you like to go for dinner? I mean, I'm by myself, but there's two of them. Now, we had other people in because this location has our corporate headquarters. And so we had some other people from the other plant in that I work with. And so a couple of nights I had to deal with those people and just not deal with them. That's terrible. Just, have dinner with them. And when I say have dinner with them, I'm sitting at a freaking Holiday Inn, at a bar at the Holiday Inn.
Mm-hmm. That serves food.
Which I love, yes.
Yeah.
And we sit there and we eat, we chat. But it's interesting when you change locations.
Yes. It becomes a little bit more intimate.
Well, it was we talked a lot of good things and had a lot of great conversation and kind of laid some plans for some things that doesn't happen when we're sitting in a conference room.
Right.
Yeah. That's one of my takeaways this week. That, man, I met with a lot of my team and other people's teams this week after hours.
Right.
And
I
was exhausted, right? Because I was getting back to my hotel room at 11 o'clock and then trying to be at the plant at 5, which never worked out. But I'm like, I'm not the Italians. I'm not on their time.
Right. Well, I said to you, it was nice that you had some of your team from your other plant come and stay up there with you after hours. You had a different cast of characters that you got to talk to outside of office hours.
Yeah.
And I think that's always good.
And I've known that only because my boss and I do that. Well, we travel together frequently, right?
Yes. That's it. I'm not going to say anymore.
That's right.
Because I think that's always good for you to.
He is a bad influence. That's all I'm going to say.
I think that goes both ways.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I think that's good for both of you to unwind.
Probably.
Yeah, because you're friends outside of work.
Yes, absolutely.
So I think that's good for you guys.
But so I took the Italians. Well, I didn't take them to Olive Garden, which that crossed my mind.
Oh, that's so bad.
It really did cross my mind.
But that's funny.
And I thought, would that be like having a crew up from Mexico City or something and taking them to Taco Bell? That probably wouldn't work out real well. So I didn't do that. And I know of a great place in Grand Rapids that, I don't know of. I've been told about a place. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think much about it. So I thought, man, I probably need to make reservations for 4 for tonight. And then they didn't have any tables available. And I'm like, holy crap. So then I looked at the next night. They had tables available, but it was at 9:30 at night. Well, 9:30 at night, we're probably going to be in bed. Mm-hmm. Or, let me put it this way. We should be in bed at 9:30 at night if we're going to be at the plant at 5 in the morning. Mm-hmm. And so I ended up, I know that in our local, and we have a very lovely restaurant in town that we love, that we tend to go there for birthdays and anniversaries only.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, okay, I'm just going to put it out there. One of my favorite restaurants is Ruth's Chris. Mm-hmm. All right. And they have one local here to us, and we love it. Mm-hmm. And so they have one in Grand Rapids as well. So I was able to get a table like at 7:15. So that's where I ended up taking them. And they didn't care. I just wanted to take them for a steak, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know what they eat in Italy. Probably Italian food. But anyway. I know. It's all Italian food in Italy, right?
It's just food.
It's just food, yeah. So my boss, the bad influence, has taught me that even when we go out for dinner, we always sit at the bar and have we pregame. I don't know what you call that, but we have a drink before while we're waiting for Uber or what have you. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing he's also taught me is I use Uber a lot up there. Not a lot, but Only because the city sucks for parking.
Oh, yes.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It's terrible. So why drive and you don't know where you're going to park, so you're going to end up hiking or whatever nonsense. And it frees you up to be able to maybe indulge a little bit in some libations without fear. And so I went down, and I didn't communicate that, so it's probably my fault. But they did come down, and I had one of our superintendents was there, and I took him because I don't get an opportunity to talk with him often. So it was nice that he was up there. So I was able to sit there, and we had pre-gamed, I guess. I don't know what you call that. We just had a drink before.
Cocktail hour.
Yeah, cocktail, right. So the two Italians come, and one is probably in his mid-40s, maybe early 50s. I really don't know. And the other one is significantly younger. I know he was 27 because he told me he was 27. And, I know they're never going to listen to this, but if you would see silhouettes of them, they remind me of Laurel and Hardy. Okay, that's what they. Okay,
you did.
And I showed you pictures of them.
We were FaceTiming at the time. Yeah.
Yes, all right. So and so I asked them. I said, "Would you like a drink?" I'm sitting there having an old fashioned, and no. I said, "Okay," and I was starving because
you normally eat it.
I can't do math.
Yeah,
I can't do math. And so I'm staying up there 5 days, which I rarely do. And I took 3 lunches. Right?
Yeah.
So I am starving. So we got a little appetizer, a little flatbread something. It was really pizza what it was, but it was.
That is what flatbread is.
Yeah. And it was delicious. I only had one little square because the Italians were eating the hell out of that. But they didn't want to drink. And I'm thinking, oh, shit, maybe they don't drink at all, which I don't care. That's fine. So when we got to Ruth's Chris in downtown, and it was a crazy Uber ride, which, Uber, it's an interesting concept, right? Because we were raised, don't get in a car with a stranger. Right? But now we pay someone to get in a car with a complete freaking stranger. And I've never felt this way. I mean, I've taken Uber rides in Cleveland. I've taken Uber rides in Indy. I've taken Uber rides in
Chicago
and Greenville, South Carolina. But I'm going to tell you what. The Uber rides in Grand Rapids area, Michigan, I got some stories to tell. But anyway, they are this... Okay, I'm not a little bitty guy. I'm not a giant of a big guy, but I'm not a little bitty guy.
You take up some leg room.
I take up some space. And the other technician from Italy is bigger than I am. I mean, in girth, and I think we're the same height, but he's just more girthy. Okay, girthy. We're both fat, but he's fatter. Okay, that's what I'll... Remember what we talked about sometimes they don't always say the right things. But anyway, and I wanted them to have steak. I wanted to, this is Ruth's Chris is an American restaurant. They'd never been. So, and I like, they make really good old fashions. And so I got an old fashioned. So next thing I know, everybody's getting an old fashioned.
I'm gonna say, for $20 a pop, they should make a good old fashioned.
They are phenomenal. And now, and I will also say the Ruth's Chris up there is nowhere near as nice as in the servers and all as the one here in our local burg. Okay, and I don't think I'm biased. I just it's not.
Ours has fantastic oyster Rockefellers.
Yes, and they don't even offer that there, which I was disappointed.
I'm drooling right now.
So, and I don't remember Laurel and Hardy. Which was the big guy? I think the big guy was Laurel. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I think so.
Let's assume the big guy on Laurel and Hardy was Laurel. So Laurel from Italy says, he doesn't know what to get. And he struggles with English badly. And Hardy, the little guy, sitting next to me. Laurel's sitting across from me, and the superintendent from our company is sitting across from Hardy and next to Laurel.
You could also do Mario and Luigi. I mean,
is one bigger and one smaller?
One skinny,
I don't know.
One shorter, stockier.
Oh, okay. See, big sexy stud could set me straight on that. I know in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
My grandson. So is Luigi the skinny one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Mario, and his name and his real name starts with an M. So that's brilliant.
There you go.
And so Luigi. Now neither one of them have facial hair, so that's a little bit of a misnomer.
Yeah.
I found both of these. Now I've got 1,001 questions, right, and it nothing to do with work. All right. I intentionally try not to discuss. I'm just finding out. So neither one of these gentlemen are married. Luigi tells me, and he's 27. He tells me, I have a girlfriend. I said, oh, well, good. He said, 2 weeks. Well, okay, awesome.
2 weeks, and one of those has been spent here.
He's been here for like 10 days.
Oh, that's hilarious.
No, I actually, and I'm, male chauvinist pig part of me says, don't fall for it, Luigi. Don't fall for it. But anyway. Mario pounds 2 old fashions, a 20-ounce cowboy ribeye, and a baked potato in about 15 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, I was impressed. I was impressed. And I've worked hard on slowing down my eating just because that helps.
Digestion.
Yes. So I'm not even... Matter of fact, I think I ate for another 15 minutes after he was done and still only ate half my steak because I got the cowboy ribeye as well. Mm-hmm. Luigi only got a filet and he only ate half of that. He couldn't finish.
But he pounded the old fashions.
Oh, he loved them. Yes. Yeah.
But still, that's a hard drink to pound.
Well,
it's strong. It's nothing but
it's
bourbon.
Ice and water and ice, a little bit of sugar.
Drink. It's a sipping drink.
Well, when I say pound, we drank our old fashions and we've all had a second one to go with our meal.
Oh, okay.
But that only spanned about 15 minutes by the time we ordered our first one to the time it was longer than that. But anyway, by the time we got our steaks, we're on our second old fashioned, and he's finished his old fashioned and his steak and his baked potato in 15 minutes. And I was impressed. But so yesterday I'm leaving and they're still at the plant because they're flying out of Grand Rapids tomorrow. I think they were flying to New York and then from New York to Venice. And because I'm quite confident that they don't fly direct from Grand Rapids to Venice.
No.
I have their travel itinerary. I just didn't look it up. But anyway, so I thought I'm going to leave. It was late in the day, and I've been there all week. And I had planned on leaving far earlier than I did. But because of issues. So go out and I talk to Mario, and shook hands. Thank you for dinner. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. Yeah, good. And then I go find Luigi, the young'un, and he was actually doing some training with some of our maintenance techs.
Nice.
And I interrupted and shook his hand. I said, I'm going to head home because I got a 3-hour drive to get home yet. And Luigi, you talk about a connection. There was obviously some sort of connection. He shook hands with both hands. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, I shook his hand, and he grabs my hand with his other hand.
Yeah.
And then he stopped as we're shaking hands. And then he took his right hand, and he bumped his chest, open chest. Open hand several times. Just thank you so much. Thank you so much. And it was just very nice. It was very kind. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I think of all the nasty emails I've sent. And my boss and I have actually talked about this. And our issue is probably not with these two guys.
No.
Our issue is with the guys that they report to, that
Right.
they seem to be less than stellar at caring whether we're pleased or satisfied, or this is doing what you said it was going to do.
Right.
And to where these guys are just trying.
But isn't this nice going forward, because now you have connectivity. You connect with them on a personal level and they with you. And so now in the future, when something comes up, things might look differently because...
Well, it's not going to be a long future, because my goal is to get rid of it. When I say get rid of them, is it, look, our warranty is done. We're out of warranty. I want access to our software. Mm-hmm. And I've been told repeatedly by this company, once the warranty is done, they'll give us access. But there's been so much problems, so much distrust.
Right.
All right, to be blunt. Mm-hmm. That I've already got another company, a third party, since we don't have a lot of controls engineers and those type of things, waiting in the wings. They've already been to the plant. They've already looked into the programs as to what they can see. But once we have access to everything, then I can get with them, and they can have full access to have this really modified to the way we want it to be, that the company has been unwilling to do that. So it's sad. I thought maybe we should have done this 2 years ago.
I was just going to say that. Maybe things would have been different. And maybe not.
I don't know.
And maybe not.
I don't know.
But I guess maybe jumping off into the future in a different scenario or different relationships, maybe taking the time to do that with someone can change the course.
Well, and from the time we got the first mill and I had my first run-ins with them to the time now, the company has changed. All right. We are 100% ESOP. The company has really developed. When I mean matured and developed. And, we have a mission statement, a value. We have company values. And one of the 6 company values is partnership. We partner, and we've done this ever since the company has existed. We always partner with our customers. But now we're trying to go the other way and trying to partner with our suppliers as well. All right. And we've seen positive response from doing that. And this kind of leads exactly into this episode, which was your idea. I'm probably combining a couple things into one episode. But exactly what we've been talking about repeatedly on this, about connections and connectedness. And yeah, I guess I don't know where I was going with that, but we had so I was exhausted yesterday when I got home. I struggled to stay awake for the drive, and the other morning I try to FaceTime you before, like while you're putting on your pajamas, and I try to FaceTime you in the morning before I leave. Now, you make me late most days just because you were obviously really enjoying sleeping in with a full body pillow next to you and not me. Anyway, you can't do that over a Zoom call. We don't even use Zoom. We use Teams. But you can't do that over a video conferencing. Develop that connection.
Right.
And we know that, right? We know that FaceTiming with you is nothing compared to being in the room with you.
Right.
We knew this years ago when our son was living in Florida and FaceTiming with our grandkids. It's nothing like being in the room with them. Right.
Right.
And I don't know why I've never really put that together. And, one of our sales, the VP of sales for the company, we are on a committee together. And again, 2 locations. He's always like, well, let's have a meeting in person. Well, that's great. But do you understand this is a pretty large committee, and it's taking people off of doing their jobs just to travel 2 hours, you know what I'm saying, and then travel 2 hours back. There's some logistical issues, but he is right. It is important. So what we do is once a quarter, we have in-person meetings, and the rest of them are by video conference. But that's important, this connection. Mm-hmm. And I've thought about that a lot this week after what I experienced, and that I probably need to apply that to a lot of other areas in my life, right? Mm-hmm. Because I always said I'm not perfect. We're just talking about my experiences or our experiences. Mm-hmm. So this morning you were sitting there talking about. Well, I guess I'm going to back up. A few episodes ago, and I think it was the one that you were just referencing about Old Guard, when I was talking about, I think it was something about memory lane and how are we training the next leaders or teaching the next leaders. I think it was that episode, and I could be wrong, and that I talked about attention spans. Remember that, where we're talking about attention spans, and I'm like, I don't know what we're going to do because I can't keep people's attention and all this and other. So as I was driving home yesterday, I was listening to a podcast, and I don't know the guy's name, but it was called the Rethink Podcast. And I don't know if you've heard of that or not, but they were talking about attention spans, right? And that's the reason I was listening to this. And how far or how we've gone from being able to sit through long form content like a sermon or a lecture mm-hmm. or even a deep conversation, right? And then to barely being able to tolerate a full paragraph on a screen, mm-hmm. right? And they weren't judging, just observing. Right? These guys were. One was a professor he was a history professor at the University of Chicago, and I know that the host, his first name's Adam. I apologize, I don't remember his last name. He's obviously a professor somewhere because he referenced that on the podcast mm-hmm. on another episode that I listened to. So this episode corrected my erroneous statement about young people today, are losing their attention span. Mm-hmm. And it's not exactly true. And I can get into that at another time. But our attention is being hunted or hijacked, really. Mm-hmm. It's no longer a passive, natural thing to give attention. It's actually a battle. And that's what he was really talking about. So history repeats itself always, right? And that's why I love history, because I hope to learn from it and then don't repeat the errors. Mm-hmm. But here I am saying, guess what? I believe this and I made this statement. Now I'm rethinking that. So plug to that podcast. And I'm asking people to crusade with me by maybe reevaluating your position on whether children really do have shorter attention spans. And this is the way he brought it into focus for me, was that a lot of parents will limit the amount of time their child can play a video game.
Or iPads.
Or iPads or whatever, right? So it's 1 hour or 2 hours, whatever that number, it's some mm-hmm. number, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. This is what we're failing to recognize. The children have perfect attention spans. You watch a kid playing a video game, or you watch Itty Bitty on an iPad. She's laser focused, and she's trying to consume a lot. She's giving full attention to that iPad. Mm-hmm. Big Sexy Stud's giving full attention to that game. Mm-hmm. It's not an attention deficit syndrome. Mm-hmm. We don't like what they're focusing on. That's all it truly is.
Yeah.
That's it. So I said it wrong. It's not the kids have less attention span. It's I just don't see value in what they're focusing on.
Right.
So we scroll instead of listen.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Guilty. We skim instead of read. Mm-hmm. And that's not kids, that's us, all of us. We watch instead of feel. So there's a story that they were retelling on this podcast that's been rattling in my brain ever since I heard it. And a man wrote a long, heartfelt letter pleading with his community to slow down, to stop this manic pace of progress, or else, he said, the family will be broken up. He was furious, scared. He was passionate. And what was he so worked up about?
Are you talking about my dad and Facebook?
No, I'm not. He was talking about a wood-burning stove. That's right. That's right. He believed that replacing the hearth, that was the central shared fire of the home, with a separate stove in another room.
That's hilarious.
Would shatter the family. Because instead of gathering in one place for warmth and connection, people would retreat into their own isolated corners. And at the time, they probably thought, this guy's crazy, right? I mean, just another man resistant to change. But look at us now.
I know.
Okay? I mean,
yeah.
We don't gather around hearths anymore. Not literal ones, not even metaphorical ones. We don't. We have personal screens. We have personal rooms. We have personal playlists. We have personal systems curated to never challenge us. We've traded the fire that brought us together for convenience that truly does isolate. Mm-hmm. So that man that I was laughing at, who railed against the stove, was right.
Oh, technically, yeah.
Not because progress is wrong. I want to be clear, right? But because when we stop paying attention to what we're losing in the name of progress, we lose more than we know. So it's attention. And when you are an empath, I'm trying to tie this together, right?
Yeah.
When you're an empath, and you are, and I'm not, you call me aloof. I say most of the time I just don't care, but and I try not to mean that so it sounds harsh. Yeah, but just a lot of stuff I don't care. But that's where I want to shift gears, but stay right in the stream of awareness. So we were talking about this moment about Gaza, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not the politics, not the sides, just, as you said it, just the people.
The humanity.
Yeah. Because whether you're awake or not, if you're human, you can feel when other people are suffering, I hope. I mean, I do. I just don't focus on it. Sometimes I don't see it. I'm not awake to it enough, maybe. I mean, people starving, children without shelter or food or water, mothers clinging to children whose futures have been shattered. And regardless, like I said, I don't want this to be political. I mean, regardless of what flags over the land, it's a human tragedy. And sometimes the only response, the only honest response, is silence, reverence, witness. So let's pause, all right, right now. And I just want to hold a few seconds for all those suffering around the world, and most specifically in Gaza. For the children, for the elderly, for the hungry, for the afraid, for every soul caught in the crossfire of human pride. Thank you. See, it's easy to want to turn away, right? Or to change the channel, or to scroll past, because it's painful to feel that much, right? But this is what I believe. We must learn to hold space without being consumed. That's empathy. And I'm trying to get better at that. So let's talk about what that word empathy. It gets tossed around a lot lately. Some people wear it like a badge, others like a burden. But at its heart, being an empath simply means that your heart is open enough to feel the pain or joy of others as if it were your own. That's what an empath is. And you're definitely an empath. Do you want me to go get you some tissues, my love?
I'm good.
Okay. So if that's you, my dear, then you know it's not always easy, right? Nope. It's like walking through a storm and absorbing every raindrop. You can't not feel it. I recognize that.
Yeah.
I don't feel it. I'm not an empath. The suffering, the injustice, the pain in the world, the grief of strangers, the quiet ache in people who smile through broken hearts. Empathy is sacred. And we're going to have an episode on sacred because we use that term a lot and we need to define what that is. And next Thursday, we'll have an episode on sacred. But it can only break you if you don't learn to flow with it. And that's what I wanted you to hear.
Yeah.
And this is where we bring in the balance. I need to grow in empathy. I know that. You tell me that frequently. So when you're someone who feels deeply, my dear, you have to be just as committed to stilling yourself as you are to opening yourself. You cannot take in more than you release. And here's the quiet practice that can help save you from. You don't have to fix everything you feel. You just have to feel it fully. Honor it. Then let it pass through you. Like a breeze, like a wave. Because the truth is, the world does not need more burnt out, empathetic people curled up in despair.
I don't do that.
The world needs people who can feel the pain and still show up with strength, clarity, and peace. So I want to offer you something that I was thinking about since this morning. What if being awake isn't about knowing more than others? What if it's just about feeling more and still choosing peace? There is a middle path. A road that doesn't require you to numb out or tune out. And it doesn't require you to drown in the weight of it all. It's the road where you keep your feet on the ground, your eyes open, and your breath steady. You notice. You witness. You soften. You tend your own fire. You stay warm. And then you open the door and invite others to the hearth. And that's the antidote to the wood-burning stove of individualism. A shared fire, a slow breath, a sacred noticing. So, my queen,
Yes.
Do you have any closing thoughts?
I just don't know what to do with the heavy-handed feels. In this situation in particular.
I know. You're right.
I mean, we
You're
talked about that. What
Right.
do you do? I think when you feel the way I feel, there is a certain amount of guilt in this situation when you can open your refrigerator and eat whatever you want, and then you take stock of what you have, and things feel wasteful. But yeah, this is who I am, and God made me this way.
Correct.
Why?
Correct.
But again, I've been this way, and I guess getting older, I'm trying to figure out.
You're getting older. You look marvelous.
I'm trying to figure out what I can do with it in a positive way. That's all. Then, so that was, we're getting a late start today because we've been in conversation about this.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm just kind of been heartbroken. It didn't help that you were gone this week. So, but I.
So there you have it. It's my fault.
No.
I'm only kidding.
But it just seems like what, people need to label everything, and if you have a certain feeling about it, that, well, you have to have a political stance, so you're for one side or the other, and it has absolutely nothing to do
I agree. I know.
Trump or Bibi or Palestine or Israel or October 7th. I have my opinions on all of that.
Right.
I absolutely do. But I cannot see one more picture of a starving child. I just can't. Or a mother.
I get
anywhere,
it.
Anywhere in the world. It's not just this.
Yeah.
And not somehow feel.
That's the cruel crossfire of humanity.
Is. And
but we got to work on how you absorb that. You can hold space for that.
Yeah.
And then let it go through you and not stuck.
Yeah.
It's about the balance and the flow. It's not about being stuck.
Yeah, because I can get paralyzed.
So we'll work on that. Right. I know. I know.
I've used this metaphor or analogy before. I can run into a brick wall, and it can only be 5 foot high by 4 feet wide, and it can be not connected. It could be open space on either side, and I'll stand there. You can go over it. You can go around it. You can even dig a tunnel and go under it. But nope, I'm going to stand there.
That's at some point in all of our lives, all of us are there. So here's the Crusader's call, all right? So what does this mean for us, for you, my love? I want to be real clear. We are called to be warriors with open hearts. We are the ones who will learn to feel and stand, who will not look away from suffering, but who will not collapse under its weight either. We must reclaim our attention, guard it, guide it, use it with care. Kind of like we have to reclaim the hearth, build connection, share warmth. And we must carry empathy not like a weapon, but like water, flowing, shaping, healing, and softening everything it touches. So I got an invitation this week. Choose one moment a day to give your full attention to someone or something. No distractions, just presence. Choose one story of suffering. Maybe it's Gaza, maybe closer to home, and hold space for it, not to fix it, just to witness. And choose one act of empathy, balanced, grounded, clear, to offer this world. Maybe it's a kind word. Maybe it's your silence. Maybe it's just not looking away. You were made to walk awake. Don't let them steal your attention. Don't let them harden your heart. Don't let them extinguish your fire. We are crusaders. We stand, we feel, we keep walking forward together. So I want to thank the folks who've been listening to this episode of Crusade with me. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs it. If you're carrying pain, know you're not alone. And if you're walking this road awake, I honor your courage. And Crusaders, I want to end with this. If this episode lit something up inside of you, if it made you pause, breathe, or think, then don't just ride the wave. Be part of the crusade. Be part of the tribe. This isn't just a podcast. This is a movement. We're building a community of awakened warriors, soul searchers, mystics, rebels, and seekers, whatever you want to call yourself. We want you in it. Got thoughts, reflections, fire in your gut? Send us an email at crusadewithme@outlook.com. You can also follow us and connect with us on Instagram at David Wayne McKee, on Facebook at Crusade with Me, and on TikTok, Walter McWhite at DWM45ACP0. Every like, every message, or share helps keep this mission alive. To explore, expand, and evolve as we walk the narrow road, or sometimes sail away into the unknown. So don't just listen, engage. Don't just grow. Grow with us. This is your time. This is your crusade. This is Crusade with Me.